Hello, hello, hello. Dorothy here at Done by Dorothy. We are here today working on our journal along Christmas 2021 journal. And we've got so far, look at those little chunky signatures. So today we are going to work on the center insert. So I'm just going to pick one out at a time. This will probably be 2 videos. I'm not sure, how far we'll get along on this today. So we'll see. We may be able to do 2, but we're going to start with 1. So I'm going to set my signatures to the side. Give me a second. Okay, so these were a card I got from Heartfelt Creations. You can make your own though. This is just simply, let me lay it out here and show you. So yours may not be as large as mine. If you're using an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, so yeah, if you're using an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, you're just going to start with a rectangle. Cut whatever size rectangle you want, and I'll give you the measurements of these just so you'll know if you're wanting them. These are 5 by 7, so it's a 5 by 7 rectangle. So if you wanted to make these out of individual pieces of paper, I would do 5 by 7. But I would actually go 5.5 by 7. Score at your 1/2 inch line. So 7 inches tall, 5.5 inches wide. Score at a 1/2 inch. You're going to have that 1/2 inch here. Then come down and cut into whatever design that you want that. You're going to cut off where your next piece meets. Then cut again your 5.5 by 7. Then you're going to do whatever design across the top. So if you want this curve, you could do a curve. You could do a triangle, whatever design you want. Okay, then you're going to take the 7 side and glue it to your flap. Trim your flap down so it matches your top. Then you have your flap over here, and then you're just going to continue doing that. And like this one gradually goes down. So this one looks like this. So that's how you do it. So let me, first things first, before I do anything, I want to ink up my little card here on the outside. I did print off another sheet of these, the one with the Santa. And I'll just show you. I just printed off a few pages to use. And I printed these on the regular copy paper, not on cardstock, because we have a cardstock base and I don't want that extra bulk. I really love this sweater one, so I printed that off in case we could use that. And there's that one. I love the rectangles, and I thought they would work really good on here. I printed off the one that had December 25th, and I love this little picture with the kids pulling the log and the little girl. So I printed that off. I did print off this envelope in case we wanted it. I printed off the decorative background. I think I printed off both the decorative. No, maybe that was the only decorative background that I printed off. Oh, nope, I printed, and then I printed this sheet off because I really like this. I printed off that decorative background. Then I printed off the stripes, and then I printed off actually 2 of the red and the stripes, because you have this really pretty red and stuff, but you have all this aged in the middle. So those are the extra pages that I printed off. And I had the sniffles this morning, you guys. It's that time of year, so I apologize. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up, and I'm not going to go super heavy. It just more or less makes it easier to visualize when you're looking. And we will do probably this insert for this video, and then we'll have another one where we finish the other one, because I'm not going to do them the same. If I was doing them identical, then, although the concepts are the same, so I guess technically I didn't have to do a video for that one, but I will. I just think this makes it a little easier to work with if you can see the outside edges a little, especially with the camera. It has to be a little easier for you guys to see. And I probably should have inked this up before we came on video, and I apologize for taking the time now to ink. I tried to have everything inked this time, but for everybody who loves when I ink, then you're getting your share of ink here. So there you go. I hope everybody's enjoying it. Stay tuned because we will not be doing a journal along in December because the holidays and it's crazy. And I mean, I know if your life is like mine, December is hard. December is hard. You don't have time to really do a full journal, which is why we're doing our journal now. So I am going to be using a kit from a place called the Junk Journal Studios, or the Junk Journal Studio, and I will put a link in the description box below for that. Or if you catch the Junk Journal Weekly Review for the week of, let's see, it would be 11/26, which will be, I believe, let's see, yesterday, maybe? No, yeah, yesterday, maybe it should, I don't know. I'm trying to remember when this video comes out. I'm trying to tell you yesterday versus, okay, so yeah, I think yesterday, Friday the 26th, sorry, I had to get a drink, my throat's getting all crazy today, would have been the 26th of November, the Junk Journal Weekly Review. There is a video, and it will go through the kit that we're going to be using, and it is basically an ephemera kit, and we're going to just be building and backing and building ephemera. I thought that would be sort of a nice, calm, relaxing thing to do. So, okay, we're going to start with the back here. This is how it's going to set. So this is going to be the part that's going to go, the spine part. So this is going to be one page, and this will be on the other side. So this page, since it's sort of blank, I want to start backing it first because, let me grab my scissors here, because I'm going to use this envelope on there just to, give it a little something. Let me cut this envelope out real fast. So, yeah, so we're going to be, and what we'll be doing is just stacking up our ephemera, getting it ready for the new year. And we're going to be very basic. We're basically going to be doing all of the base ephemera. We'll get it completely ready. So when you're doing a journal, you just literally grab it, pull it out, throw on whatever item you need to follow your theme. So like, okay, say if you're doing an Edith Holden, then you could, fussy cut an Edith Holden image and put on it. Or if you're doing, I don't know, if you're doing, I'm trying to think of an idea here. Let's say if you're doing a recipe journal, then you can pull it out, literally throw, some ephemera of, say, vintage, lady cooking in the kitchen type thing on top of it. And so you'll be able to take the basic ephemera and just decorate it with whatever your theme is and be ready to go. Okay. Let me get this out of the way. Pull my bone folder out here. And I'm just going to eyeball this and fold it. Feel free to use your scoring tools and all that if you need to, or if you want to. for what this is. It's so thin that I don't really need the... Just line your little pages up. Right like that. Then just bring this down right like this. I grab my ink. And again, I should have had it. I thought about inking this ahead of time, but there's always somebody who says, you know, I'm new, I don't know how to ink. How do you ink? I just literally just glide around the outside edges. There is no right or wrong in the world of inking. There's only too heavy and too soft when you ink. And that isn't wrong. That just varies on what your likes are. Some people like to ink really heavy. Some people like to ink really lightly. Mine depends on the project, it seems. Sometimes I like a lot. Sometimes I don't. It just sort of depends. This kit to me is a dark kit. There's a lot of dark colors in it, so I tend to be a little bit heavier on inking this. Which is why I'm using the potting soil. It's archival ink in potting soil. I know a lot of people use Distress. I love Distress. Potting soil tends to be my favorite. I'm going to go ahead and make my envelope up since I have it here. And just going to throw a little bit down the side. Like that. I need to make sure you don't glue inside your envelope because that will create problems later. Like that. Throw some glue around the bottom. Oops, that's not the bottom. Put some glue on the bottom. And it doesn't take a lot. Okay, so my envelope is ready. Put my lid back on my glue here. Ink up this inside a little bit, which I should have done before I put it together, but hey. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it's inside an envelope, but see, it just adds a little age to it. Okay, so there's that. Put this back on. Okay, so this, since I'm going to put that envelope on and the envelope's so busy, I'm actually going to use the inside of this. Now, to each his own. Everybody has, you can feel, I can sort of feel to know about where everything is. And then I can take my bone folder and just go around the edge. And you can feel when you hit the side of that. So you're basically marking without marking because it embosses. So then I know about where to cut. I actually want to tear. So I'm going to grab my ruler instead of my scissors. And I'm just going to sort of line it up on that line. And I mean, there's 1,000 ways to do this. So don't think just because I choose to do it this way, it's the way it has to be done. And sometimes people always think that, and it's like, no. You know, somebody said, well, is it okay if I make it the journal along with you, but I want to, you know, give it my spin off? Yes, that is the point. This is not for you to follow me. I mean, if you want to, that's fine. Follow me step by step. It's more about just working together to make something beautiful. And thanks for the people who have had, some people have had some absolutely beautiful things to say about the journal longs and stuff the past several weeks. Thank you. I appreciate it. And after the first of the year, we will be starting some of our lives back up. We have several different things going on. So, you know, stay tuned for that. Actually, in the comments, you know, we're going to be doing live. If you have a certain time that works best for you, comment in there. I mean, I know everybody's going to have a different time and we can't please everybody, but we can please the masses. So, you know, if you have a certain time that works better for you, let us know. You know what? I'm going to put this on the back of the page instead of on the card. And then I'm going to put some glue around my edges. I always go around the edges first. That seems to be my... And it doesn't take a lot. And I'm just going to slide this in here. I'm not going to worry about if it's a little bit bigger than my card. That does not bother me, because that's just going to hang off the back. And we're going to hit that up in just a second. So it's not even going to make a difference. When I come back, just sort of ink the bottom pages. And it just sort of adds a little shaggy edge to it, which I sort of like the look of. There we go. Okay. We're going to grab our envelope, and I'm going to glue my envelope straight down like that. I could put it as a flip, but I actually want to glue it down. And again, I'm going to glue all the way around. I'm not going to leave even a place to put for a pocket, although you could very much use it as a tuck in a pocket. But I don't want to bulk up too much in my center, so I'm just going to, and I'm just going to eyeball this. It looks about even to me. There we go. Then I'm going to reach down in my basket here with all of my ephemera. And find a piece of ephemera that I can put on there, like this, just to add a little something. I want to use some music sheet around that just to accent it some. So I'm just going to tear off a piece of my music sheet. And again, I'm going to ink up around the edges because, yeah, I like that looking dark on the edges. And I'm trying to keep this basic, not using a lot of items, because I know it's the holidays and some people don't have, you know, I don't want to stress anybody out thinking, well, I got to go buy this so I can make this journal. And, you know, as much as we all would like to think that that doesn't happen, there are people who, and it's got little bells on it. Really, really cute little bells. So I'm just going to layer that right like that. There we go. That page is done. And we're just going to keep layering up. Now this one, I want to cover with just music. So let's see. Let me go over here right to the edge of where Hark the Herald Angels is. And maybe we can... Okay, in this case, I'm going to glue the card because that's going to make my trimming easier, especially with this edge. And I'm just going to line it up about where I want it. I want a little bit of a... I don't want it too bulky in the seam, so I'm going to pull about a 1/16 of a way away. Okay. Then I'm going to turn it over, grab my scissors, and I'm just going to cut along the edge of the page. Like that. And then up this side. Fold this down, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So I'm going to grab my smaller scissors because it makes it a little bit easier to get in there and cut it. And I'm not going to worry about it being perfect, but I'm just going to trim right around that edge. Try to be careful not to cut the cardstock because then you'll have a wonky edge. Like that. And then just ink up those edges because, you know, we need some ink. Always need ink. There we go. Let's see what I have to put on there. Oh, I wanted to use one of these. I think I'll use this because it has, I like how dark the color is on it. And you'll do the same thing with the other one. Yeah, just build on it. Let's see what I have. A little bit of that tea bag. But I want something with some color back there. So I'm actually going to go into, let me find it. So one of these, but I want it sort of plain. I think I'm going to use this burgundy. I have a square, so I'm just going to try to sort of frame it in. So I'm going to again use my roller. And just sort of tear along the edge. I apologize if my phone was going off. Then again, I'm just going to tear off this outside edge. And feel free, you know, if you don't like the torn look and you would rather, I'm just sort of guessing about where I want it, and then I'll even it up. I actually want to do this where it sort of has that like little Polaroid look to it. So I'm going to tear off a little bit more than what I need. Okay, let me ink this up. Okay. Sorry about that. I have to check that these days because you don't know what's going on, and I didn't want to make sure there wasn't an emergency or somebody needing something somewhere. Okay. With my parents getting older, then that's something that you have to keep an eye on. Okay, so if I can get my glue to come out, I need to open up my little tip again. It seems like it's getting cloggy again. And it's Fabri-Tac, in case you didn't know, although I think everybody's pretty used to Fabri-Tac anymore. It's pretty common. Trying to line this up here so it's somewhat even. Okay, so see how it has the Polaroid look and it's got this at the bottom? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little piece that I tore and I'm going to tear off a little bit more. And I'm just going to tear it, a little, not quite as wide as here, right like this. So then I'll give us a little journaling spot that you can journal on down there. Now you could use, yeah, but I'm guessing this you would use to write like a date or something like that. So I'm not really like super concerned. You could use a small piece of coffee dyed paper, you know, whatever you want to use. I'm just using this because I already had it pulled out, so why not? And this might be somewhere that would be really cute that you could put like 2021. And we have the end of there like that. And this is just going to get glued on here because, again, I'm trying to keep this where it's, you know, semi-flat. So I'm just going to glue it in the corner. Just not a whole lot to it. It's just building and adding and building and adding. And I'm going to put that down in the corner right like that. Then I want to put something on there. And I think I'm going to use one of, oh, you know, let's see something real fast. I think we'll lay that right like that. Sort of lay it cat-a-corner. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Nope, nope, nope. So I think we're going to cut out this little 1, 2, 3, which, you know, the little kids are sledding. You know, when you get ready to go, what would you do? 1, 2, 3, go. So that might be really cute. There we go. So then you got your little journaling spot on there. So we're on to this one. I'm going to use the Santa piece down here. And some of this I may need to print out some more ephemera and come back to. We'll see. Okay, so so do I have a piece over here that's no picture that that's not wide enough. So let's grab a piece of this. And I'm just going to tear along the side here. Because I'm actually using that green. I don't really care if it has the green edge to it. Like that. Let me tear the bottom off. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and I'm going to pull that a little ways. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold my ruler right across that line because I can feel where that line is. So just make it just a little bit less shorter than, not as wide as that. Like that. Right, like that. So I'm torn. And then I'm going to again use my bone folder and just push along the edge. I don't know if you guys can, yeah, there you can see where it draws that line. And then I'm just going to roughly, which I know it's not going to be perfect, which is fine. I'm just going to tear along. That just gives me the basis of where to go. And when I've creased it like that, it sort of tears along that line. So it's not perfect. I don't want it to look perfect. But and then I can hold this here. And I can see, okay, about right in here it goes over. So I know to come through and sort of ink that up there where it's going to go beyond that edge. There we go. I'm trying not to make this where it's so bulky. Just where it's like a really cute page with, you know, areas that you can journal on. Like that. And then this I'm going to use as a pocket. So I'm going to just do the 3 sides. Just make sure you're not upside down or something when you do that. Because that's what I do all the time. I'm like, oh no, then I have to reprint and start over. And I'm just going to sort of center this up. Put it right there. I'm going to grab in here and see what kind of ephemera I have in here that I could put in here. So let's see. I have this little piece of the Christmas tree part that we cut off, which just makes a cute little. Let's see what else we have in here. The little. Nope, I don't like that. That's too big. I don't want it something that's going to stick way out and be. There's a little wreath we can stick in there. Maybe use it to hold our little odds and ends of ephemera. There's a little circle. And then, actually, let's see. I don't think we're just going to take that in there. And we'll have just sort of a little bit of ephemera in there. This over here. Show up more. There we go. So we've got this very last piece here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish out with what I started with this red piece. Because, you know, use those scraps up. And again, I'm just going over top that, and then I can rip that right off. And it's not going to be perfect, but it'll fill. And that's what we're doing. And yes, I know that this is short on the one end, but that's okay because we're going to get that here in a minute. And then for this top part up here, let me see where we put. I didn't want to do that. Wrong piece. And again, I'm just going to go across the top here. Just as a guide. There we go. And I'm just going to use that, line that up there, and I'm not going to worry about, again, if that sticks up off the top, because after I can get a hold of it, and we're going to ink all that up anyway. There we go. There we go. So on here we have this, then let's see, that. I had a circle that I wanted to use. Okay, so I'm going to take the little tab part and I'm just going to, oh no, I can't do that yet. I have to wait till I do the other one. So in this, I'm just going to put the word magical and then leave the rest around there that you want, if you want to journal on or what have you and have it on. I'm just going to put this right sort of in that middle area right there. And put some glue back there. Magical. Okay. We're going to flip it over and we're going to start all over again. All over again. We'll start down here. So I already have this piece here. You don't want to come up off the table there. Okay, and see, that's going to be just about perfect. I'm going to... Now, I can see up here, if you guys can see, hopefully you can, where this is a little short here. So when I come through here, I want to pull this just on the bottom side of this versus the top side. So as it goes, it's sort of going to look more blended and not like, you know, one part was really short and one part wasn't, if that makes sense. Now this is going to be like the back side. So a lot of these are not going to be decorated. These are going to be journaling spots. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Where the front will be decorated, but the back will be... There we go. Then I can come back to here. Some of these bright white spots, if I don't like them, I can sort of darken them up a little bit. There we go. So okay, so see how it layers like this? So we want this sort of plain. So because if not, then it's going to become chaotic. But we will work around that because like this one right here, we're going to use this, the one with the Christmas of compliments of the season on it. So let me see. I'm going to say about right there. Let's see about, you know, just teeny tiny bit, just about 1/8 of an inch. Like that. Tear the top real fast. Okay, let's ink it up and glue it down. Like that. I'm gonna grab my glue. Like that. Oh, yep, we needed to tear this off some more at the bottom. That's okay, we got it. And then I'm gonna come in with that off the bottom. Ink this up in here a little bit. There we go. Right like that. Then I have some ripped off pages, like where it was ripped. And I'm just going to use that to put across the bottom as a journaling spot. So I'm just going to rip that. And I'm going to actually leave the two straight on one side. And again, like I said, you know, we don't want to bulk up a lot of this because then, you know, it's going to take up a lot of space in the center. Okay, so there we've got our journaling spot. And I'm just going to put the little snowflake there in the corner just as an accent. Which you technically don't have to do. You don't want to. I actually think I'm going to come over here and put it right here. There we go. Then on this part, I'm going to come in with my ink. I'm going to ink up around this top edge. And I'm going to come inside the red on the side here. And I'm going to ink around the edges. And you wouldn't have to decorate the backs even if you didn't want to. I mean, you could very easily, if you wanted to get by easy, and you want to do it fast, you wanted to decorate the one side, then you could cover one side with like wrapping paper. Oh, I did that backwards. That's not what I meant to do. Well, that's what's done now. I was going to turn it into a pocket, instead I glued it everywhere. Let's see. So sometimes you don't do things and you got to change your mind, because that was supposed to be a pocket and, well, yeah, no. So instead we're going to leave this as the journaling spot at the bottom. I actually sort of like that. I like the snowflake better. I like the snowflake better. So just basically just covering. So if I put the snowflake here, that still leaves this open where you can journal down here. So there's that. So we have this part here to do. And And again, we're just going along that edge. We'll have to. And if you take your bone folder and sort of crease it along there, normally you can sort of rip right along that edge until you get to. See, I just have to make that work. That'll be a little rugged, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll just ink along here, cover any of that up. Our goal is to be done, and I will do the final flip through for our journal. We'll post on December 1st. Is my goal. And so there may be days where there may be like more than one video. So, please make sure you hit on the bell button, hit the bell button and make sure you click on it and put it to all. And that way you get notified whenever there's a video. And then this one's just going to be like that because sort of, so this goes this way. Actually, I'm going to do it that way. For the back, I'm going to put a little piece of Velcro on there. Or you know what? Here. Let me see what I have in here. Here we go. How do we use one of these? And I'm just going to put glue across the bottom. And this is one of the little side tab things, but they work great. So I'm just going to line it up. It's just short of the flat part. Like that. And that way, once it dries, let me put it down a little bit lower. A little bit lower, just enough to hold it, not enough to lock it in there, right like that. And I have little Glad Tidings. I'm just going to glue and put it on there. Right like that. And that opens up. And then I'm going to take this. I'm going to over here on the side of this. Right like that. Get up my ink my edges up. I'm not going to worry about the back. And fold this into thirds, roughly. And slide that down in my pocket for a little journaling space. And then this flips in there. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to grab my little tab now that I have everything decorated. Throw my glue down on both sides. Put a little on my glue. And actually turn this upside down, which is pretty crazy, but it'll work. And then what I'm going to do is slide this up until it's even. Okay, so this is going to sit in our journal. Flip to the center of your journal. Okay. I don't know if I got to do it that way. I got to do it this way. It's got to be this way, which is fine. It's going to be in here this way. So this is what you're going to see. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me try to take away the shadow from the Fabri-Tac bottle. So it's going to be sewn in right here. Okay, so this is what you're going to see when you flip to it. it'll be sewed in like this. So I'm going to hold it in where it would be sewed. So you have this like this. It's going to flip out to where you can see. Fold back in. Over here. It's going to flip out this way. You see the pocket and all of that. Then you flip over, then you have this and this. So let me slide it over here so hopefully you see. So this is the back. So this is just the one page. This is your, basically your sew report page is what that is. So you come in. It will, let me slide over this way. It will pull out this way. You can see it all that way. Okay. Then fold it back in. You come on this side. You're going to fold out and you're going to see this page. So I love these. I may do a video on how to make them. Just because I know some people are going to go, you sort of explained it, but y'all lost me. So that may be something because they're perfect for inserts on the inside. So, okay, that is it for today. Thanks for coming along while we do our little insert there. This one's done. We'll be back next time to do the insert inside this one. Let me flip it open real fast so we can get to it. Where is it? That is it. And it is a little bit different. It folds out from the inside, but we'll flip it around this way. So the flip out will be on this side this time with the block page on the front. And it's shaped differently. It's more like a wavy pattern. So, okay, you guys have a great day, and we will see you again next time. Take care.